Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast.
Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today I have Mr. Kenner French, all the way from the Washington State area. We were just talking about his beautiful city of Bremerton and the weather. So thank you so much, Kenner, for number one, being flexible with the rescheduling, because we rescheduled like 3 or 4 times. But number two, because you're here today to share your life journey and how you help other people out there in the world of real estate.
I'm excited to talk to you and your people about real estate, AI, finance, tax, everything we can do to add value to them, to hopefully make them rich and maybe even have them save a couple of bucks here and there. I'm excited about this.
So tell me, man, where are you originally from? Tell me about your upbringings, all of that.
My upbringing, well, yeah, like you said, I live in Pacific Northwest, right outside of Seattle, a place called Bainbridge Island, Washington, a little island, about the same size as Manhattan, a lot less people. How did I come here? Well, I was, believe it or not, I was born in the South Carolina.
Okay.
Ended up, my family and I moved to Washington State when I was a little kid. Went to Washington State University for undergrad, Harvard for grad school, decided to get involved in, working with small business owners. 2006, I took over a company that was funded in 1969, and then I relabeled it, calling it vastsolutionsgroup.com. Then I started doing some writing for Forbes, for the AI Journal. Then I wrote my own book, Modern Millions.ai, and now I've become kind of a cool author because I'm the number one author on Amazon.com in the entrepreneurial space. And now I'm just, out there talking about artificial intelligence, finance, tax, helping, real estate investors how to get bigger net worths.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are you a real estate investor yourself, or you're just helping other real estate investors?
I'm a real estate investor myself. I do commercial property real estate, usually 5 units and above. And I'm trying to get as cool as you and do even more real estate.
Good. Well, I want to do less real estate, to be honest with you.
What? Wait a minute. What? That blows me away.
Yeah, I'm more now into my call center and helping other people grow their YouTube channels and things like that. But it's all real estate related when it comes down to it. I think real estate, it's kind of like a stepping stone for other things, and for some people, it's the ultimate vehicle, right? So maybe if you're a W-2 and you have a job and maybe the only thing you got is a 401k or whatnot, maybe real estate will be the ultimate vehicle to create wealth. But for some other ones, I really don't want another rental. I don't. I just see it different because I've had them, and I had the good things and the bad things about them. And of course, there's always more good than bad, because there's no such thing as bad real estate, unless it's got all kinds of crazy liens or who knows what. But anyhow, man, you went to Harvard. What are you graduating Harvard with?
International trade and finance. And, funny enough, I thought I was kind of going to go down into politics and trying to help out society. And then I ran the other way when I figured out politics was not the thing for me.
Okay.
Then I just, started, did the Wall Street gig for a little bit. I decided to, help small business owners because I feel like they're the engine of the economy, engine of society. But man, they have an uphill battle because they're not getting, big time consulting. And I wanted to be the big time consultant to the solopreneur, the small entrepreneur. And it's worked out. It's my market, my company. We work with small solopreneurs all over the country, and it's worked out because we have over 3,000 clients, getting about 80 new clients a month. So things have worked out.
Wow. Now, how do you get into real estate?
How to get into real estate? That's funny, actually. My wife said, I like that piece of real estate. We ended up buying it, and then we kept it, and then rented it out, and then we've moved up and up and up. It was just as simple as that. Whatever my wife says, I do. Now,
did you buy cash, or do you use hard money or traditional financing? How did that work?
Yeah, what I've basically done is I go in the tax rolls, see who's behind in their taxes, or rumors if someone's behind in their payments. I try to be the answer, and hopefully, to be blunt, try to maybe even sometimes lowball them, if you will, and then hopefully they'll accept it. And then what I try to do is make sure that I find a property that I can add some value to. So there's 2 things: buy low, number one. Then number 2, I try to buy something that I can add some value, whatever. Maybe throw in another carport, I should say, or maybe throw in washer and dryer machine where I wasn't getting value out of it. Now I'm getting value, and it raises the income, et cetera, and the long-term property value. So any of the above.
Got it. And what is that you like the best about real estate investing?
What do I like about real estate investing? I think that everyone's going to need real estate. I don't care about artificial intelligence as an example. Everyone's going to need real estate. That being said, I would say sometimes there is the headache of, is the toilet working, et cetera, et cetera. So there are some issues there. Hence the reason I like commercial properties. It's a little bit less of that, but there still is that issue. But I like the thought that it's going to be there. It's something physical, and even artificial intelligence isn't going to do away with real estate.
Yeah, we all need a roof to either live or go to work or whatnot. So real estate is not going anywhere anytime soon. It's not going to be replaced by AI like a lot of jobs will. And yeah, we need a place to live. So what what have you enjoyed the most about your real estate career? Is it your wealth growth? Is it the experiences you had with the buildings that you got? Is it the people that you helped get into maybe a better unit?
Wow, I would say real estate introduced me to the value of taxes because I finally figured out that real estate is something that's good for tax mitigation, lowering tax liability, and that's really how I got into, tax strategy using fintech to help lower tax liability. Because I mean, real estate really is almost the perfect investment for someone who's looking for tax mitigation.
Yeah, it is the perfect investment.
Something called cost segregation, et cetera, and depreciation, et cetera. So I really enjoy that. I think that it's great to make a lot of money, but it's what you take home, and I think real estate helps you to take home more money than someone who would be doing something else per hour spent. So that's what I would say. Real estate kind of introduced me to tax, and now obviously we're doing a lot of taxes for real estate investors, et cetera, and that's what I would say is the biggest benefit I've found out of real estate. Really.
Now, are you a CPA?
I am not. I have CPAs. I have tax attorneys, financial advisors, et cetera, who work for me. My play at vastsolutionsgroup.com is more of a fintech play. We use artificial intelligence, which we've used for a long, long time, to lower tax liability for a business owner. So it's simply a fintech play, and clearly it's worked out because we've been able to lower tax for a lot of usually real estate investors.
How long ago did you get into that space? I know that. I mean, I'm talking about the tax liability, the all of that, right?
Yep. So a guy started the company in '69. He was basically an insurance and investor guy. And then I took over in 2006. I wanted to be unique and different. So at that point, we weren't doing taxes. In 2010, I found artificial intelligence, again, 2010, and I figured out that was going to be the way to lower tax liability because artificial intelligence is going to be better at lowering tax liability for real estate investors. So the answer to that is 2010 is when I first dipped my toe into taxes, and then artificial intelligence, marrying those two to lower tax liability, because there's no better way to mitigate taxes than with an AI model. It's just not possible.
Why is that? Like, why is AI better than a human being?
Well, human beings have to go to the bathroom. Human beings need vacations. Human beings need the list goes on. Artificial intelligence does not. Sure, there's going to be some mistakes, but usually it can scour the tax code much quicker than a human, and it can learn how to lower the taxes. Let's say for Big Ricardo, let's say you have a tax liability of $1, let's just say, right? If you put it in the system can figure out how to lower that dollar tax liability to, who knows, maybe 50 cents. It gets smarter over time, and it learns your situation, learns the tax code even more so over time. So it will lower the tax liability. Again, we've been doing that since 2010. We had our own tax reduction model in 2018 called Einstein. And it's our own model. It's our own unique proprietary model. And that's really what kind of got us on the scene as far as lowering tax liability for real estate investors.
What is the most common mistake you've seen from a real estate investor make when it comes to reducing tax liability?
Yeah, they don't communicate with their tax advisor. Now, first, I want people to come to us at vastsolutionsgroup.com, no doubt. But even before that, your tax advisor knows your own situation, your own tax situation, your own financial situation. Go back to your own tax advisor. I will say that. I think that's probably best. They should know your situation. If they don't know some of the sophisticated techniques, maybe then reach out to us at vastsolutionsgroup.com. But I would say that's the number one mistake. You're not talking to your tax advisor. I get it. Tax advisors might not be the, full of the greatest personalities, but if you're meeting with your tax advisor and they lower your tax liability, like I mentioned, from $1 as an example to 50 cents, you'd be glad you're sitting hanging out with that nerdy tax advisor.
Yeah, communication, right? That's why most relationships break down, anyways, is lack of communications. Um, so, talk to me about Modern Millions AI.
Yeah, it's the book. Number one on Amazon, or it was number one, for 2 weeks at Amazon in the entrepreneurial space. I love it, by the way. Number two for retirement planning. What I would say is it outlines some ways to use artificial intelligence to lower tax liability. Basically, I did a presentation back in May of 2010 at the Four Seasons talking about AI and finance. Nobody came. 20 people came. But basically, this book came from that. I knew that AI was going to be the thing. I just knew it. And basically, it's basically looking behind the curtain, figuring out ways, helping readers understand how to use artificial intelligence to lower your tax liability, increase net worth, and also put a moat around your business as far as asset protection, which is huge for real estate investors.
Okay. Um, so the book is it a quick introduction into the AI, and how I, as a real estate investor, can take advantage of it, or
Yes.
uh, talk to me? Let's talk about the book and the different sections of it.
Okay. All right. It's 300 pages. I know it sounds a little intimidating, but it will it will help the entrepreneur.
That's a pretty hefty book.
And believe me, well, it's written for over 15 years. So I had time to write, trust me. As it says, make millions, save millions, and protect millions. So a real estate investor, real estate investors want to grow their assets, right? And I'm advocating grow it in real estate. But there's ways to do your growth in real estate with artificial intelligence to help your business systems, as an example, number one. Number two, there's ideas in the book that helps real estate investors figure out ways to lower the tax liability, all with artificial intelligence. And then finally, the third section really goes over asset protection, because you don't want to be a real estate investor, whatever, working for 20 years, all of a sudden having a net worth of $10 million and losing it just because of a stupid lawsuit. Everyone thinks real estate investors are rich, which they are. But at the same time, people want to go after the money, right? Who are they going to go after? Rich people. And what are they going to do? Get a lawsuit, which usually is pretty much free if you think about it, and go after the real estate investor. And this shows ways how to use artificial intelligence to, again, make millions, save millions, and protect millions, all with the use of artificial intelligence. It's a pretty simple read. I know 300 pages sounds like a lot, but it's a pretty simple read. Plus, there's the website that goes with it, which helps to outline ways to, on an ongoing basis, how to save millions, protect millions, etc.
Now, depending on the situation, right? What's your opinion on LLCs versus land trust for
Depends on the
asset
circumstance.
protection?
What I would say is go back to your advisor. But in general, land trusts, let's say in Florida, make a lot of sense. In general, let's say you're in whatever, Nevada, LLCs make sense. So it really depends on your circumstance. I'm going to broadly speak, though. I'm going to say if you're using an LLC, number one, that's better than not using an LLC.
Right.
Because what you want to do is compartmentalize your risk.
Yeah.
So as an example, best way for me to provide an example, I was talking to a doctor. He had a $10 million net worth and had all his real estate in his name. Let's say he has, I don't know how many properties he had. This is a couple weeks ago. Let's say he has a property over here that's worth $1 million, and there's a lawsuit, right? But let's say the lawsuit would have been worth $7 million. That means that litigant could go after all his assets to equal the $7 million. So that's $6 million in money out of that portfolio. Not good. Lose all the money for that doctor. Versus if you have an LLC, the most they could get at, generally speaking, if operated correctly, is just one of the LLCs and not go after the other LLCs. So that's something you want to think about as a real estate investor, or really any entrepreneur.
What's your opinion of combining land trust and LLCs?
Well, sometimes it's a means to an end. Having a land trust and then going into LLC makes sense because it provides some confidentiality. But it really, on that one, I would say it depends on the circumstance. And if anyone, we are under vastassetdefense.com, vastassetdefense.com, which we've partnered with a law firm to help us with the asset protection and estate planning. That's something to think about if someone needs any specific help. But I would say go back to your advisor. But I'd love to chat with them. We'd love to chat with them about asset protection specifics or estate planning specifics, as we have a law firm that's connected with us.
Okay. Now, what is next for you, Kenner?
Okay, this is going to be nerdy. I'm not really going to go into it too much, but one, keep pushing the book because the book is beneficial. There's this thing called quantum computing, which I've been an advocate for years. I think that's going to be the next. That's the final horizon. That's the thing that's really going to change business. AI, great. AI is, believe me, it's unbelievable. But quantum computing makes AI look like you're writing on stone tablets. That's going to be the end of my career, if you will.
Quantum
computing.
So is what is that? Is I mean, you just explained it, but in a language that's not as nerdy as you mentioned it. Is it like computing AI on steroids? Like what is it?
What is it? Okay. So artificial intelligence is, if you think about it, it's software. It's an application, right? All it does is project forward. That's all artificial intelligence. It projects characters, then words, then full sentences, then books. Okay. When you put in a prompt into, let's say, as an example, ChatGPT or Gemini, which is Google's AI. Now, a physical plant of a computer, let's just call it a quantum computer, what it does is it takes the micro atoms and does computations at a massive rate, massive scale. So it can read the whole internet, as an example, in a fraction of a second, whereas AI takes a while. Yeah. So you'll be able to do more calculations with these physical computers that are going to be in far off lands. Let's say in Washington, D.C., you're going to be able to use that computer in D.C. and make massive calculations split second. That's the fastest we'll ever be able to do a computer calculation. And the reason I'm an advocate of it is because I think it's going to help small business owners in a big way going forward.
Good. What message do you have for our audience? Maybe the experienced real estate investors that are listening to us today.
Yeah. I would say be AI first. To succeed today, you've got to move quickly. And the quickest way, most efficient and cheapest way is using artificial intelligence. Don't just say you're going to use artificial intelligence. Don't just put in a prompt and say you use artificial intelligence. I say jump all in. There is so many benefits to using artificial intelligence to become quicker, faster, better, that you've got to adopt artificial intelligence and jump with both feet. You'll be very glad you did.
What's the name of your book again?
There we go, bro. ModernMillions.ai. Make millions, save millions, and protect millions with Kenner French. And there you see Amazon #1 bestseller, huh? That's a cool deal.
Awesome. Kenner, thank you so much for being here today, brother. This was short and sweet, but I love it because I think we're going to have more downloads. People don't want to listen to a 45-minute podcast anymore. Yeah. They want to shoot for 20 and 30 minutes, and we managed to stay under 20. So with that being said, guys, go find Kenner. Kenner, how can people get a hold of you other than the book?
How about go to modernmillions.ai? You know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to get, if they go there, modernmillions.ai, put in, let's say that they know Ricardo.
Yeah.
I'm going to mail them, or we will mail them a free copy of the book. So what I would say is go to modernmillions.ai. You'll be glad you did. Free copy of the book. You'll be sent to you in very quick fashion.
Man, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you, brother.
You better believe it.
All right.